First of all, it's important to note that there are already very well established protocols when it comes to managing infection offshore. So people will already be very familiar with things like norovirus. So we're following the standard guidelines on infection management and working very, very closely with the medics. However, we're now in a world where we are continuing to learn about this virus and understanding better the practices and the safest practice that we can follow. So the key around entering to clean an infected cabin, for instance, where there is an established timeline of isolation once the person has actually left the cabin. And once we deem that that environment is safe to enter, standard cleaning protocols using effective detergents and sanitizers, PPE for our personnel, and the standard operating procedures that are in place for cleaning gives everybody the confidence that we have minimized as much as possible the risk both to the people, but also make it safe for entry for new occupants of any cabin that could be affected. Offshore stewards already undergo training for all tasks that they perform offshore, especially around cleaning. So what we've been focusing on more is upping the focus around the frequency of cleaning, the areas of cleaning, and how we are deploying our personnel and how we best utilize the skills that they are trained in. And from a PPE perspective, again, there is good PPE in place, but if there are any significant different activities or timescales, they have been thoroughly risk assessed along with the medics to ensure that the PPE that is available is being utilised at the right times. I agree that cleaning and hygiene should be a key focus, and it always has been a critical activity in the offshore environment. But certainly in this new COVID world, we're aware that regimes have been reviewed and continue to be reviewed. And yes, new protocols put in place may mean that we have to have more personnel on board involved in those critical tasks. I think it's important to note that we're working very hard, and at the moment nobody has been paid off, and so we're working around redeployment and so on. But in terms of the key worker status, anybody involved in supporting the oil and gas business, regardless of the tasks that they fulfill, are defined as key workers. So absolutely, those people who are helping to support accommodation and cleaning offshore are absolutely in that category of key worker status. It's very traditional in the offshore industry. On most installations, although I hasten to add not all, that the cater crew numbers actually align with in regard to the ratio of the personnel on board. So it works very well in operations when we're in very much of a steady state. But when the numbers of personnel drop, obviously the size of the installation doesn't decrease. And particularly in this current environment where there is a drive to single man cabins, that means if there is a reduced number of cater crew, we are challenged to complete existing protocols, never mind the additional cleaning protocols that are required. So we're working very, very hard to educate both the operator partners in a different understanding of the best way to ensure and enhance capability on board. This forms part of our standard business continuity planning for offshore. And it's not just COVID related. There could be other incidents and occasions when for some reason a camp boss or a head chef is no longer available to produce the food. So We have good resilience with regard to food stores on board. It may well be that we have to work on some menu planning and some changes to the menu, but I think I'm very confident that we will still be able to serve food on board until a suitable replacement person can be found and sent out on board. So again, just to reassure everybody, food will still be available. So in the public areas, there is going to be, and there already is, an increased focus on those key areas where there are high levels of touch points. So for instance, door handles, handrails, and of course, both the sanitary areas, particularly the communal areas. So what you will find, you will see more frequent cleaning, you will see evidence of products being used from a sanitization perspective. In the food prep areas, there are very stringent food safety practices, again, already in place. But from a consumer point of view, what you will see is a change into the way that the food is being served. So minimizing the self-service aspects, probably the removal of the open salad bar areas, and of course, the extension of meal times to allow for better social distancing when people are actually consuming their meals. Again, what you will find is that there will be additional focus on the laundry and the towels. There may well be a change in the timing of personal laundry and how that is working, but that's really too appropriate to the focus of the business and the prioritization. This is a great question, because my key message on this is, if everybody on board focuses on stringent personal hygiene and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds with soap and hot water and practice good social distancing, those are the best things you can all do to minimize the risk both to yourself and to others on board the installation. But of course, you will see evidence of more availability of sanitizing products. And we will be recommending that as a minimum, you utilize these products on entering the mess before you consume your meals, and also on entering and leaving the gymnasiums. But once again, personal hygiene, stringent hand washing, and good social distancing.